The Infectious Diseases Bill put forward by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, is still generating controversy in the polity. After weeks of assuring Nigerians that the bill will only be passed after discussions with the public, following the criticisms that trail the bill, the Green Chamber has described as false stories making the rounds that the Federal High Court has ordered the suspension of the bill. The House insists the bill is meant to tackle the coronavirus ravaging the world and other infectious diseases. Now, the bill, if passed into law, will replace Nigeria's Quarantine Act. Joining me now via Skype is a public health specialist and CEO of Midway Health Limited, Dr. Tuyi Mebawondu. Dr. Mebawondu, it's good to have you join me right now. First of all, make us understand. We used to have the Quarantine Act in place, and this is meant to repeal, the Infectious Disease Bill is meant to repeal the Quarantine Act. But talk to us, how important is this bill at this time?
Thank you, Mike. Now, first and foremost, let me tell you, I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you from the point of health, authoritatively, that this bill cannot and will never fight infectious diseases. Wow. These are the reasons.
Okay.
Now, you put a copy of a Singaporean infectious disease law that was enacted 53 years ago, and you transport it to Nigeria in the year 2020. The big question is this. What aspect of Singapore is similar to Nigeria? Is it the constitution? Is it the political organization? Is it the pattern of infectious diseases or even a demographic of Singapore that is similar to Nigeria? How do you apply such 50-year-old law to a country of Nigeria where our own landscape of infection and even infectious diseases are quite different? Why the hurry? The bill focuses on epidemic, and actors, essentially. The challenges of prevention is not just there. You are not looking at prevention. Let me tell you, the process for disease notification before has always been that the medical officer of health in a local government is in charge of ensuring that the disease, you notify them of any epidemic or epidemic threat. They collect all these things, they work at the local level and ensure that these things then get to the federal government. Okay, now, what we have done with this bill is to create an omnipotent and almighty Director General of Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Minister of Health. These guys were given unlimited power to do anything they like in a bill. Now you are asking what could have been the input of the professionals into this bill? None. Okay. Now this guy now said that according to them, if you fail to notify the Director General of the Center for Disease Control of any epidemic or disease, without recourse to any law that may protect you, without recourse to human rights, without recourse to anything, you can be found guilty. And once you are found guilty, whether your Hippocratic Code cannot protect you, your professional code cannot protect you, they can do as they want. And they have to do what they want, a police that can enter any premises. The Director General of Nigeria Center for Disease Control can look at a house and say that by feeling, or not by any science proof, just by feeling, and can say that, listen, this house is overcrowded. And I believe, I feel it has a risk of bringing infectious disease, and then say, okay, go and lock the house, demolish the house. For goodness sake, where on earth do you see this kind of thing happening, if not Nigeria? And then why at this time? Why are we now mortgaging the rights, the freedom of people, the right to be heard? Look at another example. In blood transfusion, they say that if you declare false information about infectious disease in blood transfusion, you are subjected to 2 million fine or 3 years in prison. Now, tell me how many of us even know the state of the infectiousness of our blood? A lot of things we don't know. What happened to the body that is supposed to screen blood before transfusion? What role are they supposed to play? Why are you now putting the burden on me that wants to go and donate blood or give blood to somebody? Now, the question is this: a lot of people will run away. It will be our blood transfusion system will be compromised. And then, these people were not elected. Who is now supervising the Minister of Health? Who is now supervising the DG Nigeria Center for Disease Control? Who is supervising those police that can enter your premise without warrant? Court cannot even stop them. They will just enter and say that, listen, we feel that you are a threat as far as the epidemic is concerned. So we have chosen to destroy, essentially, the medical officer of health in each local government. We've made them irrelevant. We're not practicing unitary system of government.
So this is an infringement. So this is seen as an infringement on the rights of Nigerians in the name of health or safety, as the case, health safety, in the, as we might put it.
Everybody will be suspicious of this. You need to read the bill. Everybody will be suspicious. You see, because again, if the key thing in fighting epidemic or infectious diseases is to detect. Of course, you need surveillance to detect and prevent. It's to detect and prevent. You cannot then come and start criminalizing everybody, every person in the spectrum of fighting epidemic. That is what that bill is doing exactly. They just look at you and say, okay, you know what? The government can choose to take you away and do anything they like and build your house and grab your house and declare it as an isolation center without recourse to anything. Why do you do that kind of thing in the world? Okay? What has happened to the preparedness, epidemic preparedness of the government? Have they been able to set up future for? In fact, let me also point out, the bills now put the cost of doing all these things on the person once you are found guilty. Where do you do that kind of thing? Okay, now, what's your own appropriation for such thing? Where is the future fund for epidemic preparedness? Where is your own future epidemic plan and threats? So now, for you to just pick a law of more than 50-something years ago in a remote country called Singapore that has no similarity to Nigeria, that has no demographic similarity to Nigeria, political similarity to Nigeria, and they come and impose it on them. Honestly, it's ridiculous. All right. It's ridiculous. I don't think this bill can see the light of the day.
When it comes to passing bills, there is usually the window for public hearing. Do you think that that wasn't done enough where there's supposed to be an engagement with Nigerian public to get to hear from them and get their inputs on this?
I don't think it is done at all. Because you see, the starting point of such a bill is this. You pick the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Okay, the health workers are stakeholders. The people on the streets are stakeholders. People that are having threats to epidemics are stakeholders. You are not talking to them. You pick a bill and brought it to them. You want to impose it on them. You want to ride roughshod on them. Where do you do that kind of thing? How do you think that bill is going to work? You abandon the medical officers of health. You abandon the local government. Where's the role of the state in all this bill now? Okay? So now the window, in fact, actually, before you even start talking of public hearing, you must have structured the bill in such a way that it is properly, the proper input into the bill by requisite stakeholders. Yeah, that is not done. You just brought a bill and you want everybody to pass the bill. Even if they chose to, ram the bill down our throats, it won't work. This is not how to do health. Honestly, this is not how to do health. This is not how, in fact, I was expecting that the government would look at it and say, listen, what are the gaps in health? We're going to do an audit of our challenges in health sector. After the audit, we now said, okay, these are our challenges. How do we bridge this gap? Are we having shortage of human resources for health? Are we having shortage of laboratory and all those things? What are the issues? Is our school, the health institution, training institution, are we having sufficient work? They're not doing that. They woke up today, pick a DG of Nigeria Center for Disease Control, pick a Minister of Health, pick policemen, and start making all sorts of laws to run into anybody's house, to confiscate anything, to take you without warrants, to cause to destroy your house, seize your house. Why? I mean, it's ridiculous.
All right. We have to leave it here for now. Thank you very much, Dr. Tuyi Mebawondu, for your time on the program.